waking up. Trill niggas linking up. Link up, my nigga, let's link up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Link Up. Welcome to another edition of our Off the Court series. As always, I'm your host, Ron the Don. It's been, quite a slow news week, in the world of basketball. We have the Olympics going on and the Summer League going on. So it's been eventful. But as far as like rumors and everything like that, it's been pretty hush-hush. But we're going to get straight into it, man. We coming off the heels of Team USA men's basketball beating Australia by 6. I believe the score was, give me 1 second, 98-92. To be honest, from the start, the game was a little close, and then Team USA kind of opposed their will on Team Australia with so much star power, and this kind of like got away from Australia a little bit. It wasn't until the fourth quarter where my guy P Giddy, Josh Giddy, and Jock Landale, the Team Australia start pulling the Team Australia more closer, got it within single digits, got the lead down to 6, and then here comes Tyrese Halliburton, with that wonky shot. He hits 2 3-pointers. Team USA goes back up by 12, and in the final 10 seconds, the Team Australia got it back down again, but Team USA was able to ice the game with a couple free throws. Definitely some standout performances. Anthony Davis, 17 points, 14 rebounds, 2 blocks, was really, the most impactful player on the court this afternoon, followed by Devin Booker with 13 points, and Devin Booker with 16 points, Anthony Edwards 14, LeBron James 10, Joel Embiid 10, and Bam Adebayo 10 points. This was a game where, we saw last week versus Canada. Anthony Edwards and Jason Tatum came off the bench. They actually started this game. And this was a pretty good game. I always like FIBA. I like when the games are a little bit more physical, pause. And just seeing, the American players with a star-studded roster going over and dominating. I was getting ready to jump on here and be like, I don't see nobody beating Team USA. But those last couple minutes got me concerned. I don't know if it was rotation-wise. I feel like the second unit, which started the second half, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, Devin Booker, Tyrese Halliburton, and Drew Holiday, they kind of stayed in a long time and didn't really get, too much rest between the third quarter and the fourth quarter. And then that allowed, Australia, they started bringing in guys who didn't play in the first half, some actual, seasoned vets who've been playing for the team for a while now. And Joe Ingles, Matthew Dellavedova, they start, bringing their defensive unit in and really, cutting down on that lead. And it made me kind of nervous. It was looking like USA was going to cough it up. They brought back in the starting lineup with LeBron, Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, Joel Embiid, Steph Curry. It was still, kind of close. And then so they brought back in that, that tandem, and that lineup with Anthony Davis and Bam, holding down the front, Drew Holiday on the perimeter defending, and then, Tyrese Halliburton dishing and Devin Booker to score is super lethal. So I don't blame Steve Kerr for leaving in that lineup, but it did stay a little bit past his welcome. But yeah, man, shout out to Anthony Davis. If he plays like this upcoming NBA season, the Lakers are definitely going to be a factor in the Western Conference. He played so good. You got people on Twitter already saying that he should start over Embiid, which is, very interesting considering that, the consensus in the NBA would say Embiid is better than Anthony Davis right now. So, it's just funny to see. But yeah, Anthony Davis in the past 2 exhibition games has been balling. And, I like seeing this version of Anthony Davis aggressive, physical. Like I said earlier, the FIBA game is more physical. So it's good to see, with these rules in place, you can see, the stars in the NBA the American players, really known for being called soft nowadays, all buddy buddy. They can get on the court and have a little edge to them, be a little physical, impose their will. I think that's a important thing. And, I'm looking forward to seeing more physicality in NBA this upcoming season. I know they're changing the rules. So that's something, I'm definitely looking forward to. Um, Devin Booker, like I said, had a solid game, but I also want to shout out Anthony Edwards, man. From the jump, he scored a quick 11 points. Um, only ended the game, you know, only ended the game with 14, so he really didn't do much, for the rest of the game. He was breaking some shots. But one thing I'll say about Anthony Edwards, being on the court with the likes of Jason Tatum, Joel Embiid, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, and he's making an impact on the floor, there's no way that anybody can tell me that he's not going to be the face of the league in a couple years. I feel like, yeah, you got your Lukas, you got your Jokic's, you got Wemby, but Anthony Edwards is going to be the face of the league. He got to, win at the highest level for sure, but it's definitely his league. You see that he wants it. He wasn't waiting around. I know a lot of people was joking on him last week when he was asked who was going to be the leading scorer, and he said it was him. But, he's him. He's that guy. And, I'm looking forward to him, leading the team. Once we get into the actual, Olympics, leading his team in the Western Conference, it's looking like Denver is taking a step back. We'll see how Klay Thompson adjusts in Dallas. Will it be as seamless as everybody thinks? But right now, Memphis is in that cream of the crop out there in the West, and I can really see them, making it out of the West if everything breaks right in the playoffs for them. So yeah, man, Anthony Edwards has a bright future, and shout out to him. Sticking with Team USA, LeBron, said something that if you an NBA fan, even if you a LeBron hater, it was kind of sad to hear. He was saying that he won't be at the Olympics in 2028, which is kind of signaling, we coming towards the end of a great career. And, LeBron James has been great for such a long time. He's 39 years old, you know, um, still playing, better than a lot of guys in the league. Not at the top of his game, but still one of the top NBA players, making all NBA, all-star games, being number one option on his team. LeBron James is still that guy. And as we've seen over the past couple of days, we have one guy to thank for that, and that's Paul Pierce. Um, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Paul Pierce came out and said on Undisputed with Skip Bayless that he is the reason that LeBron James stepped his game up. When he was in Boston and LeBron was trying to get through the playoffs, he had to go through Paul Pierce, and Paul Pierce made him elevate his game to be the player that he, you know, has become, to be the great player, to be the all-time leading scorer, to be a, you know, three-time NBA champion. Is all because of Paul Pierce. So, is or four-time NBA champion. Excuse me. Let me get my facts straight. I corrected myself though before y'all get on my ass. But yeah, this is all due to Paul Pierce. Now, obviously, we don't believe that. LeBron James is highly touted coming out of elementary school, basically. He was done as, the chosen one, the next man up, to really come in and take the lead by storm. And he lived up to the hype, surpassed the hype, if you ask me. He's one of the biggest names, biggest brands in the world. So for me, I think, that's just a, I don't really know the word right now, but that's just almost like a credit to him and his legacy on, not just being great, but being as great for as long as he has been, so long that now his son is in the NBA. And we're going to get to him, soon in the summer league and everything. But yeah, so knowing that this is LeBron James' last Olympics and we counting down the days of LeBron James' last years in the NBA is definitely one of those things, we got to take all of these moments, don't take them for granted, but really enjoy them. Also sticking with Team USA, somebody that was on the Team USA select team was, a college player right now, #1 in the nation. Projected to go #1 in the 2025 NBA draft. Of course, I'm talking about Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg put the NBA on notice. Yes, this was just practice. The USA Select team is just used to challenge the actual Olympic team. But if you ask Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Cooper was one of them. He's already one of them. I'm excited. Finally, unlike last year, we actually have, a highly touted prospect going into the college ranks. Cooper is going to be at Duke this year. So we're going to have somebody to look forward to and watch him, this whole college season. And I'm very excited. He looks legit. He's a big forward, power forward, 6'9", I believe. Can handle, shoot, big body, knows how to use his frame, and he's definitely next up. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Cooper does. He already looks like he belongs from the tape that I've seen. If you unfamiliar, I would say go check him out because he's that guy. And somebody else who thinks they're that guy is Dylan Brooks. I guess, when the USA played Team Canada in the exhibition game, nobody gave him 40. So he began getting all disrespectful, walking in front of, Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker while they're interviewing with the media. Dylan Brooks doing Dylan Brooks things. I just thought it was funny, just bringing it up as to note. But, Team Canada is a real team. Yeah, they lost versus Team USA, but they got some heavy hitters on their squad too. Dylan Brooks is, one for the mind games and all of that. But when it comes to playing for his country, he can get like that. They got RJ Barrett, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Kelly Olynyk, Jamal Murray, Andrew Wiggins, O'Shea Brissett, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a lot of NBA talent. So they're a team to look for in the Olympics, as well as two teams that I potentially see in the biggest threat, to that gold medal for Team USA and Team France and Serbia. France led by Wembanyama, Serbia led by Nikola Jokic, which Team USA will play Wednesday at noon. So I'm very looking forward to just how, this Olympic summer will pay off. Love what I'm seeing from Team USA. Like I said, coming into this, I don't think I didn't see anybody beating them, but today had me kind of worried. I'm still standing strong on it. I still think they go, undefeated throughout the whole thing, or maybe lose maybe one game, but I think they coming home with the gold. They the best in the world for a reason. Nobody cares how Noah Lyles feel. We support him too because he American, but it's Team USA all the way. Let's get it. Kawhi Leonard, unfortunately, had to leave the team. He's still dealing with knee problems, had inflammation. He was then replaced by Derek White. So it was already controversial that Kawhi wasn't on the team. Then he was replaced by Derek White, which was a shock to a lot of people. A lot of people felt like it should have been Kyrie. It could have been Jalen Brunson. And me personally, along with a lot of other people, it should have been Jaylen Brown. This could be, because of his beef with Nike and knowing how much, power Nike has in the Team USA program with making the jerseys, doing the branding and all of that. That could have been a thing. But Jaylen Brown doesn't want to talk about it right now. So we can't really go in it with death, but he should have been on there. This man coming off NBA championship season, Eastern Conference MVP, Finals MVP, got the biggest contract in the NBA. So for me, I don't understand how he's not on this roster. And you say, well, Ron, it's defensively, Derek White is brought in for defense. Don't act like Jaylen Brown wasn't just in the finals making it tough on Luka. Was he stopping him? Not completely because you can't stop Luka, but at the same time, he was having an effect. And he brings both sides of the ball. I rock with Derek White, but he not doing it at the level Jaylen Brown doing it. Quite the head scratcher for me. But at the end of the day, Jaylen Brown winning in life. So, you can't really say much about that. Going back to Anthony Edwards, in a little bit, it was reported by Shams that there is going to be a docu-series centered around the NBA And Anthony Edwards is going to be a huge part of that docu-series. It's going to be on Netflix. It's going to be Anthony Edwards, LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, and I believe Jason Tatum. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be very entertaining considering Anthony Edwards and Jimmy Butler is in it. Two guys that's not afraid to be themselves and not trying to be like anybody else. And so I feel like that's going to be a great series. I wonder, I'm trying to think. I would throw Joel Embiid and Giannis in there. They pretty funny. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, Ant is the wave. Netflix, NBA doing the right thing, trying to build a show around them. So I'm excited for that. But we're going to move on to Summer League, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go over some of my standouts, as far as rookies, as far as surprises and everything. Of course, the NBA Summer League has taken span across, multiple locations, California, Utah, Las Vegas, and some noticeable performances. Stephon Castle, he is legit. San Antonio's picked him with the 4th pick. He's a legit talent. Now I'm starting to see, comparisons with him and SGA. I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but I do think that Stephon Castle is going to be very legit, and him and Victor Wembanyama is going to be quite the tandem for years to come. And then you couple that with the fact that very soon he's going to be learning under Chris Paul. Yeah, the league in trouble. If he can somehow end up starting next to Chris Paul this upcoming season, I don't see why he's not, the win Rookie of the Year right now after the performance that Edie had in his first game. Everybody was pointing to him being Rookie of the Year, but right now I'm leading towards Stephon Castle. Also, somebody who's standing out, Reed Shepherd, getting buckets, doing it on both ends. Him and Cam Whitmore putting on a show for the Rockets in Summer League thus far. I'm seeing all types of hate online saying he's just a glorified Austin Reeves, but nah, man, I'm starting to dive into the hype of Reed Shepherd. I just feel like I knew he was a good shooter, but man, he can shoot and he can defend. Now, I'm not gonna get too crazy. This is Summer League. When you go to the actual NBA, it's a step above. But yeah, Reed Shepherd has definitely been that guy so far across Summer League for me personally. And Zachary Rizashe, the number 1 overall pick in this draft, he's played solid over the course of 2 games thus far. Bub Carrington on the Washington Wizards been getting bucket, doing what he does. Shout out to the Miami Heat's rook, Khalil Ware. He's looking, like a promising young center on the come up. We got to see Zach Edey in the Salt Lake City Classic, but he has yet to play in the Las Vegas Summer League. So looking forward to see what he does against more teams. Alex Sarr, he's played solid. A little lacking, but he'll figure it out. More reps. You can see the defensive versatility. I think he'll be solid. I think he's trying to find, like, I could see how shooting wise the conversation around him was, can he be a consistent shooter? He's definitely not there yet, but I could definitely see the potential. Matas Buzelis, that guy plays with a lot of fight, a lot of energy. He wants to be that guy. He's balling right now. Dalton Connect, he gets buckets, and his teammate Bronny James, well, he's struggling right now. The defensive tools is there. I will say that he has defensive instincts, even though he's been dropped a couple times. But that's no smut on him. That's gonna happen when you defend it. It's happened to the best defenders. But his defensive intangibles is definitely there. as far as offensively, he says he's in a slump right now. I know, he's coming off the cardiac arrest around this time last year. So I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, how much this can affect him. All I know is the doctor said it wouldn't, be something affecting him going forward. So I don't know what's the rehab process on that. But if he finds that shot, I could definitely see him being a NBA player. How much of an NBA player, I don't know. But defense is gonna be his niche. He gotta carve that out and then retool, and some of the other parts of his game, he gonna be straight. Uh, he may be struggling shooting on the court, but apparently he's not struggling shooting off the court. I say this to say that he's won the Las Vegas Call of Duty tournament. He beat Grant Williams of all people in the finals. So I guess that's a championship he can hang his hat on, get his confidence going further. But yeah, that's been summer league so far. I believe on the next pod I do want to do a way too early rookie ladder, so be looking out for that. Let's see what else we got here in the W. The Liberty, who are on fire right now, moved into first place a couple of games ago. Was petty. They stopped my girl Angel Reese from getting, that 16 straight double in the closing moments of the game. They quadruple teamed her, and that made her pass the ball, so she couldn't get the 10 points to go along with the 16 rebounds. So that streak is over. She did make history by passing, Candace Parker. So all in all, that was good. Caitlin Clark, we're coming up, to the All-Star break / Olympic break. She is now the all-time leader, all-time rookie leader in turnovers and assists, already. So she's definitely impacting the game in both good ways and bad ways, outside of, always being a polarizing figure. And Aja Wilson, the best player in the W right now, on track to be MVP yet again. She is, currently on a streak of 20 and 15. So hopefully she keeps that going. In other news, we had a little bit of rumors. My guy Pat Bev might be the highest paid Euro star this upcoming summer. It'd be a shame not to have him in the NBA. We know Pat Bev, Mr. Belt the Ass, one of the best agitators in the game. It would be a shame to lose him. But if he got to go get that money somewhere else, why not? He's going out the NBA. John Wall, Isaiah Thomas, and Eric Bledsoe are trying to get back into the NBA. John Wall is crazy to me. I don't, even with the Clippers, I didn't think he was terrible. Isaiah Thomas, it pains me to say because he could really hoop. I kind of understand just from he's older, a hype, thing, and him, worrying about him on the defensive end, and the NBA is very switch heavy now, so I get that. But I do think in short minutes he could play like a Ish Smith role, at the least, and I know he wants that opportunity so bad, and hopefully a team gives it to him. Eric Bledsoe, I have not seen or heard from Eric Bledsoe in a while. I think he was in the big three, but I'm not sure. But I know he could ball. But his image kind of took a hit because literally once the Bucks got rid of him and got Drew Holiday, they won the championship. So, it's tough for him. If I had to choose one out of the three guys, I'm definitely going with my guy, John Wall. Unfortunately, injury riddled, but I feel like he still has a lot left to give to the game. And for me, I definitely would want him to get another shot in the NBA for sure. Speaking of point guards, Russell Westbrook might be on the move. Him and the Clippers are discussing potentially parting ways. Earlier in the summer, it was reported that Denver was interested. I could see him fitting in there. Before he even agreed to opt into his player option, it was looking like Miami was going to be a location. I don't really see that one as much. Other than that, I don't really know any other team that Westbrook could possibly fit in. I would love him. I would love to see him go back to the Oklahoma City Thunder, but would he be okay coming off the bench, for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander? Because that would just bolster their second unit for sure, and make them even more of a juggernaut. I could see him fit-wise, now that I'm thinking about it, it's not going to be good, but, being that Mike Conley is older and Minnesota is looking for minutes for him, I can see, Westbrook going there, but then again, not really, because I know they drafted Rob Dillingham for a reason. Shout out to him and Terrence Shannon Jr., who also put on the show in summer league as well. But yeah, I like Oklahoma City for Russ. A return there would be good for him. Darius Garland says that he is not requesting the trade despite Donovan signing that contract extension. I'm very anxious to see does Cleveland agree with him? Will they move him? All signs and reports say that they're not going to, that they're looking forward to keeping their four core. Isaac Okoro is still a free agent. Free agency isn't over at all, but I wonder what's the hold up there. He's been the starting small forward for the past couple years until they got Max Strus. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen there. The Warriors have shot their shot for Lauri Markkanen. They're offering Moses Moody, I believe, 2 first-round draft picks, 2 pick swaps, and some second-rounders. But Utah isn't budging. They not only want Moses Moody, but they want all of that and Brandon Podziemski and Jonathan Kuminga. And if I'm the Warriors, no deal. Personally, I like Lauri Markkanen, but with him it's tough. I think he's an amazing talent. I think fit is important for his game. As we've seen in all his past, destinations, his play hasn't really resulted into winning per se. Yeah, Utah, like they were almost into the playoffs, but they didn't make it. Cleveland made it to the play-in, but then got bounced out. Chicago, they really didn't make it anywhere. So I would be hesitant to give up that much for Lauri, but I do think that he's about to be smack dab, in his prime. Who knows if he's going to get even better, but I would be hesitant. Plus, if you take him on, you got to know for sure that he's okay with extending with you, before you just take him. That's if Utah doesn't extend him before they trade him, which if they do extend him, they got to wait 6 months anyway to trade him. So definitely something to look out for there. And then, finally we have Jimmy Butler doing all the side missions right now, opening up a country bar, singing country songs out in Spain, enjoying the Copa America, tournament, watching, Shakira perform. And, Andy Ellisberg, GM of the Miami Heat, came out and said that Jimmy has never been challenged. And for a contract extension or a new contract agreement to get done, both sides have to be at Miami. He also said Miami sees Terry Rozier as their free agent acquisition. It just happened, months before free agency. So them trading him for Kyle Lowry was their free agency acquisition. And as a Heat fan, initially it's kind of like, dang, this team has been a play-in team 2 years in a row. Where do we go from here? But I'm starting to lean into the idea. One thing I know about this team, one thing I know about Jimmy Butler, Eric Spoelstra, Bam Adebayo, and the Miami Heat, they're their best when everybody's counting them out, including their own fans. So for me, I'm getting more and more excited. You got a rookie center who can play next to Bam. You got Jaime coming back from a stellar rookie year. You got Jovic coming back for his 3rd season after getting that starting job at the 4. Finally getting playing time. Terry Rozier, a full Heat training camp, gonna be acclimated into the offense. And then you say that with Jimmy Butler coming back, potentially in the contract year if he chooses to opt out, really trying to play for that extension or more money elsewhere. Bam Adebayo coming off the Olympics. Tyler Hero hearing all this slander on his name. He got a chip on his shoulder. Duncan Robinson, if he comes back healthy, we already know how elite he is at shooting. So I'm not ready to count this team out, honestly. It's looking more exciting. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk crazy like they're going to be the top of the East or they're coming out the East. But I think if anybody could surprise in a 7-game series, it's the Miami Heat, no matter who it is. We've seen them beat every team but whoever comes out the West in the Eastern Conference. So, I'm definitely looking forward to that. But, that's really been it in a week of hoops. Nothing else too crazy. Unless, y'all want me to go full camera on here and, talk about Dwayne Wade nail polish line, which I'm not going to do. But other than that, yeah, man, that's just been good. I hope everybody's good. I appreciate everybody from watching. I appreciate everybody who stay locked in with me. And, I just, pray and hope that this just keeps going up from here. And that way I can just, give back to all of you guys who support me. And with all that said, I just ask that you like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, Don Co. Follow us on all platforms, the link up with Ron and Don. And, with that said, I hope everybody has a blessed day. And we out.
Trip forever and I'm just not getting started. That's the one.